I'm not gonna talk about my life.
Okay, don't do it.
Is this live?
We are live.
Oh, don't act different.
No,
Don't act unique.
We
Don't
was
act.
getting deep. We was getting deep.
We
was
can
like,
get
oh, now-
deep.
Yeah, we were talking about content.
Right.
About
Thank
content.
you.
Okay,
Right.
so what were
Thank
you saying about content?
Right.
What were you saying about content?
It's interesting to me that you can give so much content and still have so much more to give. So most people would only give just a little bit of content.
Right.
Because really they only got so much content.
Right,
And
right,
if
right.
they give it all up, then
They
they
screw.
lost.
Right.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
get-
yeah.
right.
How do you do this?
Because, okay, so Rudy might call, so each one, and I talk to each one of you, you are all at different places, right? So when I talk to Tia, the content that I give to Tia is very different from the content I give Rudy because Chef Tia is in a completely different space, right? Her social media marketing is already on point. She knows exactly what her niche is. She knows exactly who her who her target audience is. And for her, it's all about monetization. So when I'm speaking to her, I'm speaking to her where she is. I'm not speaking to her from the very beginning. Right. I'm not saying, okay, well, let's figure out your value prop. I mean, we're going to do that. We're going to really nail it and hone in on our value prop. But my point is that, so when I talk to her for an hour and a half, I'm giving her an hour and a half worth of content based on where she is. When I talk to you based on where you are, I'm like, Nick, we got to go from here to here and let's me. So I don't have a problem spending an hour and a half talking to you about that. The thing is, what people do is they're going to give you, okay, so I can say something like, listen, there's 12 parts of a successful entrepreneurial business. And then if I sit there on the phone with you on day one and I say, and there's this part, 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 you're sitting there going, okay.
You lost me.
You're lost.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I really, so even though, yes, I have because I'm not about a breadth of knowledge, I'm about depth of knowledge. So even though I gave you this piece, I guarantee you when I get off the phone with you, that I've given you enough to go and do something.
Start somewhere.
At least get started. Because I don't get on the phone, quite honest, and you guys know this about me, I don't get on the phone with anybody to sell them anything.
Right.
Because I'm like, first of all, I only let 10 people come. So I really am not trying to sell. You can get in or you can't, right? And so that's number one. But then number two is I don't want everybody here because I can't help everybody. The people who I can help, we have a conversation. And if I've talked to you on the phone and I've given you a solution, you've done something with that solution, or you feel like you can do something with that solution, then I'm like, okay, we can go to the next level.
Yeah.
Right? And there are
So you
some
don't
people
waste your time.
Yeah, well, because
Same thing with the food.
right. So for me, it's all about making sure that the people that are here, I take it so, and y'all know this about me because y'all know me. I am so serious about, I want you to make that money back. Fat. Like look at what Julie Creffield is doing. Like she is blowing up.
Right.
Like she came in January. By March, she made all her money back. like she was like boom.
Right.
March 1st. She made and she's been blowing up ever since. But that to me is the type of student that I love because they come, they learn, they're like, let's go.
Right.
And they go and do it.
Right.
They get it. And anybody who's taken it and actually applied the blueprint, applied it the exact way it's supposed to be applied, they make money.
And here's the reality too. I mean, a lot of people are afraid of giving out their ideas or content. It's like, look, give out your ideas. Most likely you're not the first one to think about it. Number one. Number two, even if you give the idea, most people are not going to be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me go and start it. Right. Most people are not like that. And second of all,
but even if they are, they probably can't do it the way you do
the
it.
way
anyway.
that you do it, right?
It's in your mind.
Right. It's your secret.
That's why I give my recipes. I don't care.
And one of the things that she said is that when she sits on the phone and gives you value, you're sitting there like, man, I really can do this. Like that's how I felt. After I got off the phone, I was like, I feel like I really can do this.
Right.
But more importantly, I felt like I really can do this with her in my corner. Because she gave me a direction whereas I didn't have any sort of direction whatsoever. So a lot of times people are afraid. Like I went just recently, I had a client call me. He's setting up a brand new office. He's a chiropractor. We must have done a 2-hour walkthrough. 2-hour walkthrough. Things were looking great. We shook hands. I gave him some great ideas, blah, blah, blah. This is what you should do, et cetera, et cetera. Send him the proposal. And then a week went by, and then 2 weeks went by, And then I said, everything all right? He says, yeah, everything's okay. I decided to go with another company. I was cool with that. I could have been like, oh, I can't believe it. I spent all this time with him. I gave him some ideas. Maybe he took my ideas and went to somebody else. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
That's all I can do.
But so you know what? It's interesting that you say that because a lot of people are so hoarding their content and their ideas. They're like so hoarding. But here's the thing. This is where people mess up. Everybody believes in their heart that their information is the most valuable piece of information that God ever put
Because they never take the time to analyze who they are and what they do.
So they think it's the most valuable. But here's the thing. Back in 1994, Bill Gates said content is king. And in 1994, content was king. And if you pay attention, right around that time, Blogger was like the #1 website because everybody was like, oh shit, I need a place to put my content. And people didn't know how to put up their websites at the time because WordPress wasn't big. Right? So everybody's like, I gotta go get a blog. So everybody went on Blogger and what they do? They started putting out, I gotta put out a blog every day I gotta write something, right? So content was king and people were going crazy with content. Then Facebook came along, then LinkedIn came along, Google really started blowing up and all of a sudden, content became cheap and free. Because content was out there. Everybody could get content. So then it went from don't sell your content because content is cheap. Ain't nobody buying that shit, right? Because it's free. You can go to Starbucks, get online, it's free.
Right.
Now it became solutions. Solutions are, that's what you're selling. You're selling the solution. Here's the thing. Everybody that believes solutions are king. And right now, solutions are still on the throne, right? If you have a solution and you're telling people how to do something, yes, solutions are still making money. However, just like the stock market where stocks go up and stocks go down, solutions are losing their value.
Right.
And this is why. When you go on YouTube and you're going to charge me to learn how to do something, to learn how to do my makeup, or I can go on YouTube and I can watch this little 15-year-old girl do it for free, right? And so it's like, so I can pay you, or I can pay, or her and all her friends gonna show me how to do it. We gonna see how bad we can mess this up ourselves, right? And so what happens is now people are going, well, wait. You trying to charge me to change my oil, but I just figured out it's really not that hard, bro. I got a screwdriver. I can make this happen. Look, I did it, and my car got oil, and it broke down. So all of a sudden, people are realizing solutions, if I can do it myself, aren't that bad. But this is where things become really valuable. There are people who are going to go out there and they're going to see that solution. They're going to try that solution. I can sit and tell everybody every day, this is how you write a value prop. This is how you write a position statement. This is how you write a unique selling proposition. This is how you write a cold call email to get people. I can give them the formula. Fact of the matter is, a lot of people will take that and they will try it and they'll say, I don't know, there's something I'm not doing right. And what they want are two things. They want validation and transformation. That is what people are paying for today. They're paying for validation and transformation. Done with you services validation. Please work with me and make sure I'm doing this right. Hold my hand and walk the path with me. Don't just make me drink from the water hose with information. Don't just make me drink from the water hose with a solution that I can't implement. Hold my hand and walk with me. That's validation. And the second thing they want is transformation. Turn me into you. Show me how to do that. Show me how to be what I want to be, not just how to do what I want to do. That's the thing. People right now today are still selling solutions. They're selling the wrong thing. And then they're saying, why can't I make money? When people send out cold call emails, they're sending out cold call emails that say, would your clients like to know how to? No, they don't want to know how to do shit. Would your clients like to be? And what is it that they want to be? Would your clients like to be persuasion and influence experts? Would your clients like to be able to close more deals faster? Would your clients like to be experts who can turn their expertise into a high profit business? What do they want to be? Not what do they want to do? People are selling the wrong thing. They keep selling information and solutions. They're not selling transformation.
Here's an interesting thing to that. is that now we're inundated with information. Right?
Yes.
Like
Content is king since
there's like a million places, a million people telling you this is how you do it. No, this is how you do it. No, this is how you do it. It's like, whoa, stop. Like I need
somebody, not everybody.
Right, I need somebody, not everybody. And that's how.
But you gotta look at the statistics. So this is the issue that I run into. And this is, I will tell you, my number one problem with my business is that you got everybody's that are saying the same thing. Everybody's gonna say you need to have a funnel. My favorite thing. You need to have a funnel. Right? You need to have this free shit, right. And then you gotta sell them a keychain. Then you gotta sell them a T-shirt, and then at some point they'll buy your car. I'm like, stop. If somebody walk into the dealership to buy them a car, sell them a damn car. Don't sell them the keychain. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? People do this shit all the time. Oh, I'm gonna sell you a keychain, and you'll get a keychain, and you'll get a key. How about this? Y'all want to buy a car? I'm gonna sell a car. I mean, right? But the problem is that here's the statistics. Do you know that I think it's less than 75% of entrepreneurs today are making $10,000 a month in their business. So they're making less than that in their business. And it's less than, and only like 3% are making greater than, I mean, like it's a stupid number. Only 3% are actually making money. Only 1% are making $50,000 or more per month in their business. Wow. However, 99% of the people are out there yelling right now, do a funnel, give them some free shit, and then give them the keychain, and then give them the T-shirt. I'm like, if 99% of people are telling you that, and 99% of people aren't making money, then stop listening to all the shit that everybody's telling you to do, because clearly all that shit's wrong. Like, stop doing that. It's not working. And all they're doing is selling you the same shit that everybody else is selling, which is the wrong shit. Right. And then the thing is, when there's somebody like me that's saying something different, it's so hard for my voice to get out there, because people go, you're saying something different. That's crazy. Right. But I'm making money, so. And stop believing the people that are standing there. Listen, this house is rented. This ain't my house. Right. Because you know what? If this was my house, I wouldn't have to shut off. Be like, no, I live in this every day. Right. People who drive Ferraris every day don't feel the need to show them off because they're used to them. Right. People who broke go on Facebook and do that. Yeah. Let me show you my Ferrari. Right. Let me show you my house. It's just like the guy who plays football and goes right. It's like the guy who goes and plays football. He gets in the end zone because he's never been there. He got to show out. Right. Yeah, but the dude has been there all the time. Like what was his name? Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was in the field goal in the touchdown zone every time. He's like, here you go. I see you back in 5 minutes. I'll see you in 5 minutes. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Right. He didn't feel the need to show off because he was always there. He never showed off because he's like, no, I'll be right back. People who don't have it, they're like, let me show you. I'm like, that's because they don't have it. That's why they're showing you that.
Not to cut you off, I got a question for you. So for the people that you give the blueprint to, right, that don't end up using it or being what you were trying to condition them or who they're called to be, have you noticed that some of them didn't do it because they wanted to be you and they didn't want to be them?
So first of all, I've been super careful. So there's a vetting process, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I get people on the phone, I'm very careful about making sure that I'm helping people be their authentic self. You know, a big part about the blueprint is that we want your business to embody who you are. Mm-hmm. So not to embody who I am, and that's why we do that first thing where we go, okay, so what's your motivators, right? What motivates you and what's your strength? Right. So not what Dawnna's strength is, so what's yours? Right. Like first let's get that. And so I'm very careful about ensuring that the people that we get in, that we're checking and making sure that it's their stuff. I will tell you, there are two types of people that we get in, and I've gotten better about this vetting as time has gone on, is that they're either consummate learners or they're risk takers, action takers. So consummate learners, which are you, consummate learners. He's a consummate learner with an action taker mix. So this is what he does. He has to learn, it has to marinate, and then once he's ready, he'll go and relearn it again and take action on it. Right. That's how he does. Right. That's how he does.
It's almost like me.
Right. So some people have to take it in, learn it, and then come back and learn it again. Now they're ready to implement. Mm-hmm. Some people are like you.
And when
like,
we come.
Yeah, when you come ready, you're like, boom, I'm
Even
ready.
bigger than you.
Right, yeah. You're like, what you mean we not starting today? It's Sunday, right? And then there are people who are action takers. Action takers come in and they love the way that we do this because, and you know this from last time, you learn a little and then you do a little. You learn a little and then you do a little. So there's this constant iterative process so you leave with something, right? The 3 people that don't make it in are people who are, first of all, they're like, no. They're like, no, I just want to do what I want to do. My mind is not open to anything else, right? And they're so crystal clear on what their expertise is, and sometimes it's whatever they pulled out of their behind. It's the buzzword of the moment. It's whatever the buzzword is right then, that's what they're going to do, right? And so, I don't waste my time with them because they're just doing buzzwords.
It dies after.
Yeah.
Same thing with restaurant. When people call me to go and do the restaurant, it's exactly what you've been saying. It's exactly what I've been telling them.
Yeah. It's just buzzword. It's just hot for that second, and then it's gone.
That's why I'll close your restaurant.
Right, exactly. And then it's gone. And then you have the other people who are afraid of change. Right? They're like, well, I talk about leadership. That's all I talk about. I'm only going to ever talk about leadership. I'm never going to talk about anything else. And I'm like, but can we at least make leadership a little tighter? Because damn, leadership, like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, what we lead, right? Like they're just, and I'm like, right? Can we just tone it down a little bit? And when they can't, when they're like, nope, I'm just stuck on this, and I'm like, if I can't help you make money in that, and I really go out of my way, like I call everybody. I'm like, look, can you make money in this? Do you know some? I call event planners, I call bureau agents, I call everybody I can think of and say, can they make money in that, right? Do you see a market for that? Who will pay for that? I call executives, everybody I can think of. And then the third person, and this is why y'all know I do not have an email list. Like people are always like, well, put me on your email list and let me know what the next one is. I'm like, look. I do this 3 to 4 times a year. It's based on the season. When you're interested, you hit me up. Because I'm not emailing you. I don't have an email list. And the reason I don't have an email list, or I take that back, I do have an email list. They're high-private zone family members. Those are the only people I email because they've been to a retreat before. That's it. Yeah. So everybody else, I'm like, listen, if I send you an email, it's not a mass email. It's from me sitting at my computer. I actually sent you one. But the third set of people I call them Seymour. Seymour people, they literally just want to see more. Can you send me some more information? Can I see some more information? Can you write in something special about that just for me?
I don't even answer those calls.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? They make up 80% of people's email list. And they will lead you on. They will open your email. You are so excited about your 8% open rate on your 500 people list. And let me tell you, they will answer. They will act like they were interested. They will lead you on forever. They are not going to pull the trigger because they cannot make a decision. They are Seymours. So the only 2 people that really make it in are action takers and consummate learners. If they're Seymours, they're like, I don't know, I got to think about it. I'm like, then it's not for you. It's for people who are ready.
Me, I tell them straight up, I don't need your money.
Right.
Go sit somewhere else.
I don't have time for it. They can't make
I may end up choking you.
Right, exactly.
No, and it's crazy because here's the reality of it all. What really got me on this journey, well, first of all, my wife was the first person who got me on this discovery journey because for the longest time, running an IT business, it's like, okay, I know IT, I know it very well, and I've been doing it for a long time. But at the same time, like Dawnna said, it's like, okay, but how long am I gonna keep on this trend? And then my mind's like, oh, but I really want to do this stuff, but I don't know how to, so I'm just gonna be comfortable here. And I don't like comfort. And because every time I felt comfortable at a job, I put in my 2 weeks. That's been my number one thing that has helped me through the years. It's like if I feel too
when I worked in IT, I was like,
if I feel too comfortable,
2 years is out.
I'm gonna show up whenever. I'm just it's like, nope, it's time to go. Because I'm not being challenged anymore. And so,
but that's good though, because I went to this thing where I was working with Young Presidents Organization, and we were down in Turks and Caicos. I mean, and these guys are like 9-figure millionaires, billionaires, like ballers, right? And the one thing that I heard them say all the time is that they chase discomfort. They're like, I take the risk, I chase discomfort. If I'm doing too much of the same thing, I'm like, I need a big project, I need to take a risk on something. And they constantly do that. They literally live by that lobster mentality, right? This shell is getting too tight, I can't outgrow. And they get 100% uncomfortable, they take big risks, and they go for it. So it's funny, because I hear people all the time, they're like, I will come to the high profit zone, but my favorite thing. First, I gotta work on my website, then I gotta get my video done, then I gotta get my copy nail down. Then and I'm like, but you're gonna do it all wrong. Why are you doing that? Don't do that.
I see that.
Come
so
to the zone
times.
first, get it right,
Yep.
then go do that every time. And I'm like, and the thing is, they're trying to put all this stuff in place. Some of them will tell me, well, because I didn't want to be embarrassed in front of you. I'm like, I lived in my car.
Yeah.
I did not brush my teeth for days at a time. I could not shower. You cannot embarrass yourself around me.
Trust me.
I have had less than you have right now in the cushions of your couch. It is fine. Let me see what's really, really, really fucked up so we can get it right. Like, I get people tell me that all the time. Like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
How do you separate the see-mores from the do-mores? How do you know which one is the one to pursue?
The conversation.
Continue to pursue.
For me, it's the conversation, and here's the difference at the end of that conversation. A see-more will say the following. Let me look at your website. I need to see more information, and then there's like 8 people they gotta talk to. A do-more will say, how much does it cost? Do you have a payment plan, and how can I get started? There's a difference between the C. So one will say, what do I need to do right now? How do I get in?
Take action. How do I take action?
The first thing they'll say is, okay, so how do I get in? I get people, because I didn't make a formal invitation on the phone, because they know it's by invite only, and they'll say, first, do I qualify? and how do I get in? Because you didn't say I could get in. Can I get in? Like, you gonna give me the address? And I'm like, because everything is like secret, you know?
Right.
Like, people can't even see into the high power zone family group. Like, it's all private and secret. Like, you don't let anybody in.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important because you tap into see my whole thing in life has been all about networking, man. I don't know what it was, but I realized at a very young age that one, there's no way to know everything. Number two, I don't have $1 million to pay people to do stuff.
Right.
So what do? You leverage your relationships. And it's been all about networking. But not only that, I love being able to connect people because then I may not know how to do plumbing. But if you come to me and say, man, I have this issue, and I connect you with a plumber, I just gave you a solution. I just became your solutionist without even knowing how to do plumbing.
Right.
Like, how crazy is that?
But that goes to your motivators, though.
Yes.
Right? Because your motivators are significance, instant gratification, and leverage.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So yours are, when we started talking about his motivators and his strengths, he was like, it was so funny. I would go to one, he's like, that is not me at all. Let's move it along. And so for him, having a significant network that will respond to him instantly that he can leverage to help other people is critical.
Yeah.
That is his thing. He knows how to do it so well. So well. That's his fire right there.
Which is why Shakti is here.
That is, exactly. Yes, because Chef Tia is his.
Because I know she needed
that.
I know that she needed Dawnna, and I know Dawnna needed her, and I just stayed up and I'm like, look.
And it was instant.
It was
instant. You got that Instagram gratification thing. You know you got that. That's his motivator.
It wasn't like, well, let me figure. Nope.
Yeah, we were like sitting in my apartment. He's like, hold up. I was like, okay.
One of the things I decided this year for myself and for other people, I said, one, I don't want to say stuff that I'm not gonna do. Like, I don't want to tell you, hey, we should get together for. If I'm not gonna do that, why say it to you if I'm never gonna call you and say let's have lunch next week, right? So that's number one. Number two, I made a decision this year that if you're in my circle and you're gonna say something to me, unless you plan on doing it, don't even say it. Like, why tell me, yeah, Rudy, one day I'm gonna buy a Tesla. Okay, that's cool. When do you plan on doing that? Well, you know. How much you got saved? Well, you know. like, let's be honest. You know, are you really gonna lose weight? Well, you know. When was the last time you've been to the gym? Well, do you have a membership? What? Okay.
Right, exactly.
Why are we talking?
I get that. You know, the whole thing, like, the number one thing I hear is people go, well, you know, it's really expensive. I'm like, but that means that you didn't talk to me because I'm like, listen, we'll work. If you want it, I tell you all the time, if you want it, I'll make sure you get it.
I tell her.
You gotta want it though. You gotta want it.
I tell her that all the time.
I'm like, you want it?
When we need something, somehow I told her that. We had a trip to take. I said, I don't know how we're gonna take this trip, but it's just gonna have to happen. I didn't say, well, you know, I said, it's just going to have to happen one way or another. And sure enough, as the time came by, the right things lined up. I told Chef Tia the same thing. I said, do you want to level up this year? She's like, yeah, but. I'm like, nope, no buts. Nope. I don't want to hear the but. Yes or no? Yes.
Oh,
let's go.
Always last minute.
Somebody's at the door.
Huh? We got
Somebody's
at the door.
Somebody's at the door.
I bet it's Lisa. Let's see. Or Chris.
She can see
I
him.
don't know what time it is.
It is 3:57. Let's move this table.
Good.
Yeah, you're still doing live though.
3:57.
Okay.
I'll move this table.
You're still live.
You want to move the table as you're live?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
All right.
That's where we're at right now.
I don't want somebody to bust their heads, man.
Yeah, I don't know why it's off. Listen, don't break stuff, please.
Come on in. Are we moving?
There
Wait,
you go.
what about camera?
We good.
Right. We still got the camera on.
We still got the camera
Everybody,
rolling.
where'd she go? She stopped.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm
family.
Rudy. We're family. Welcome.
So nice to meet you.
Likewise. This is my
This
wife.
is Nick.
Oh, go ahead.
You can meet the wife first. Meet the wife
This
first.
is my wife, Christine.
Oh, I've seen pictures of you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Lisa Young.
Lisa, Nick Jackson. Nice to meet you.
Okay, come on. We're talking. We're just talking crap on Facebook. Come sit with us. That's what we do. This is how we roll. We start off by talking shit.
Start from there.
How do we start off? We start off by talking shit.
Right?
Lisa, how did you meet Dawnna?
Hug her. Sorry.
Wait, we gotta get a hug in.
Rudy, you lost your thing. Hold on.
And I like.
You good?
Am I
Yeah.
in the video?
No, it's still
Live
my
stream?
Yeah, we're still live.
I wanted to ask you, how do you separate? I mean, because you're all super intimate with every person that you work with.
Right.
How do you separate business and personal on a
This is
consistent
the only
basis?
powder that you'll see me use.
I don't.
And
To me, like my friends that I work with, first of all, the important thing you gotta know is that we call everybody that comes in a high power zone family, right? So once you have slept in one of our houses, you have broken bread with us.
What was that post? I sleep in the house.
I sleep in a house. Yeah, what do you do for a living? I sleep in a house with 12 people once a quarter. Like I sleep with 12 people once a quarter. That's how I roll. That's what I do for a living. What do you do? Right. I sleep in a house with 12 people. So everybody becomes a family member, and so one of the things that I will say that I think is unique about High Proper Zone, other than the big done with you, right? Then you pick up the phone and call me, text me. Like there's not, and you guys know there's not a person in between me and you.
Yeah,
Right? Like you don't have to go through my 500 assistants. Yeah. You can just hit me up. And people are like, well, it's going to get where you have so many people that you're not going to be able to do that. But that's not necessarily true. And the reason is, and I figured this out, somebody said before, and I was really worried about that. And here's the reason. The reason that is because people come through High Profit Zone and they become successful. They actually don't need me.
Yeah.
When they hit me up, it's like John Ramsey came through and he said, right? John Ramsey said, when you're in High Profit Zone, I mean, his stuff went like he blew it quick. John blew it quick. And John was like, boom, boom, boom. And then he hit me up maybe like once to help him with the keynote. Then he went and rocked the keynote. And then he hit me up again to help him with a book. And now I have his book to read, right? It's his manuscript to read. The people who are killing it, honestly, they don't have time to call me. they're like, I'm killing it. So I really don't have that problem. The people who call me the most afterwards probably need a little help. That's why we don't have a big post-coaching thing where we're going to charge you like $8,000. We don't do that. We continue to help you because our goal is for you to take off. Right. That's it. Right. Now, if I find that you keep changing lanes, we're going to have a different conversation. Right? Because I'm like, we picked the lane. Right. Why do you keep switching? What are you doing? Right? So once we pick a lane, we get you going. You don't really have time to pick up and be calling me. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, the people who are like needing that help again, they just come back and go, you know what, I need a round two because I'm adding something. Right. That's mostly what we do. We have one accountability group, and that's for people who want to be accountable for their sales, like we used to do the Daily Six. They want to be accountable for their sales. But for the most part, Most people don't need it. Every now and then somebody will say, I want post coaching. And I'll ask them, wait until you go to high profit zone. You might not even need it. And people are like, you're stupid. You're leaving money on the table. No, the difference between me and a lot of the others is quite honestly, they're trying to sell you into their after coaching thing for $20,000. I'm not. I'm really trying to say, no, I want you to leave and go make money. You should be calling me. You ain't gonna have time to be post coaching with me too many because you working.
Right.
You're gonna hit every 2 minutes. You have to send her to a bedroom.
The chef is in the house.
Right? Chef is in the house making noise in the background. She's trying to get dinner ready. No, you're fine. I know.
2 minutes. I'm getting the seasoning ready for
Look at me.
the
See, she's getting the seasoning
She
ready.
doesn't use powder.
Yeah, she don't use powder seasoning.
No,
We have to be fresh.
You know a real chef from a fake chef is that their seasoning is their seasoning. It's not like, oh, let me go get some Goya. Like,
Right.
oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we gonna get this steak blend? She's like, steak blend? What? No, we use fresh herbs and spices.
Right? You want some ketchup? No, we make our
ketchup.
You want some water? No, we make our water.
We got the H and the O. We got it.
How did you meet Dawnna?
I stopped.
Oh, wow. All right,
I went to
then.
my first convention. My first conference was at the gosh, what was it? Just what do you call it?
The NSA?
NSA
The chapter meeting in Tampa?
No.
Oh, the
No,
National
no.
Speakers Association
In
Influence
Florida,
Conference.
right? No, not influence. It was the winter.
Oh, the
The
winter
winter.
conference.
Yeah,
Winter
yeah.
conference, yes.
Isn't that what we went to?
Yes, you were my emotional support person.
Yeah.
I didn't meet you.
I was there.
You didn't meet him?
No,
Wait,
I didn't meet you either. But I went to your session.
Wait, you were in my session.
I wasn't.
He and Rudy were the
I
ones
was in the
Rudy
front,
and
passing
Bobby
the
were passing out
papers.
papers.
I was overwhelmed. That was the first time, But I had this piece of paper that I folded in 6 or 8.
Yes.
Okay, Rudy and or Bobby gave you that paper. She's like, I got it magically.
It was my favorite session, and then
They were trying to rent us out, man. It was like, do you rent these guys? I'm like, seriously, Dawnna?
So the story is, I go to NSA Winter Conference, and I'm like, I need help, right? I'm like, I've learned if I got a bunch of people working to do an activity, I need help. So I asked Rudy and Bobby to come along with me, and you got to show that to the camera. And I said, these are my, you know how you have like an emotional support dog? Or
Yes,
emotional
please.
support pet?
Really?
We had
Really?
I had emotional support people.
It really says that? I know
Yeah,
that.
yes. It says my emotional support people. And so they helped me. And the funniest thing was we were in the hallway at one point and I can't even remember who it was now, but she came over and Christine. She came over and she goes, we're gonna do a video where there's dancing. And she talked to me, she goes, so I need you guys to dance. And then I turned around and said, okay, Rudy and Bobby were dancing. And they go, okay, and they just take off there. She's like, what is going on in your lives? Where Dawnna just turns around and says, we need to dance. And y'all like, okay, I guess we dance. I'm like, this is just normal that y'all gonna pick up a dance at any moment on camera. Right. This is just like in the middle of the hallway, we're dancing. Okay, we're dancing. Like,
And you have to get the one lady, can I rent them?
yeah, one lady, she's like, do you guys rent them out? I'm like, hold up.
He didn't say no.
No, he didn't. I called Christine. I'm like, Christine. I'm like, Christine, can I rent them out? She's like, yeah, let me give you some rates.
Let me send over the contract.
She goes, do you got the little emotional support vest for them? Can we take emotional support alcohol and food on the plane?
Like, seriously.
So you met me at the conference, yes.
I didn't. I didn't actually meet
No, you didn't meet
I
me.
felt like I met you. You didn't meet me.
She was in
didn't
the
meet
room.
me.
You were in the room.
And I was sitting next to somebody who was very seasoned, and he said, I don't know,
Well, 'cause he
seasoned.
was
I
a
don't know
baller.
what a word.
okay.
He was seasoned and a ball.
I know them in old or something.
No, not salty.
I was like, oh, he's seasoned.
He made his own.
Don't talk about hand water.
Anyway, he said in the middle, and I'm like trying to keep up, and I'm here. Oh, this is the paper. This is on 6 sections, right?
Yep.
Or 8, was it 8 or 6? So
6.
I'm writing, and I'm just diligently paying attention, and all of a sudden he just mumbles, and
This guy's like a multi-millionaire speaker, like he's killing it.
he says, "It's okay to cuss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is some good shit." And I'm like, it is, right? Like, that's the best session I've been to. Yeah. I picked it at the last minute, and from there on, I was just like, look. Let me
It's alive again.
And she has ESPs.
Anybody who got emotional support people, that's just brilliant.
And she was like, look, if you really want to talk, she made it very easy. We could talk now. Very personable.
Yep.
And then from there on out, and I spoke to many people.
Aww.
Dawnna's probably one of the first person that I've met that's not a back of the room type of person. Nothing's wrong with that. It's just that's not her MO.
No, I'm like, let's do this right now. Front of the room. What's your question?
Front of the room.
Yeah. She's like, let's meet. Let's do it right
Let's
now.
do it right now.
Do the selfie. Let's
Yeah,
talk.
let's talk.
Let's chat.
And I forget the exact verbiage, but
Uh-oh.
you said, so don't worry, I'm not quoting, but it was something along the lines of, I don't deal with people who are time wasters, who are procrastinators. What else?
Oh, it's a list. It's
Yeah.
a really,
I know. And then
really
like,
Wait.
yeah, wait.
Michael, that's not me.
There was, I remember that, and I know which live stream you're talking about because I'm like, look, I only deal with winners.
Yeah.
Action taking, decision making, not time wasting winners. If you feel like you want to call me just to chit chat and get to know me, that's great. We can talk. It's going to be like 15, 20 minutes. I'm all about helping you get to the next level. Call me. And the thing is, here's the funniest thing. I just spoke at a chapter recently. I'm not going to call them out. But there was about 100 people in the room. And I go to the front of the room. There is a slide that says, here's my email address, here's my phone number. If you need help with this, give me a call. I'm not going to sell you shit because you probably don't qualify. I'm always Crystal. You probably don't qualify, so don't worry about it. But I will help you get to the point where you do qualify, right? So don't worry about me trying to get you in the mansion because it's probably sold out. Right? So just call me. 100 people in the room, and I said this while I was in the front of the room. I said, now here's the funny thing. That's my phone number and email address. There's 100 of you in here, and I know for a fact that 99 of y'all ain't making no money. At least not the speakers. I already know that. You know. Come on, you know. I'm like, 99 of y'all ain't making no money. But I'm going to tell you how many of y'all are going to call me.
1. Wow.
You know how many people called me?
1. Wow.
Not only, and when he called me, not only did he said, I'll give you a ride to the airport and I'll take you to lunch. We went to lunch. We worked on his entire keynote. We worked on his whole keynote. Then I said, here's 3 ideas for you to boost your business. He called me later. He goes, Dawn, I got video. Will you help me? I looked at this video. I said, this is what you need to change. Change this. If you change those around, here's what you want to change in your message. If you do that, you'll make more money your next keynote. He was like, how do you do this? Your time must be inundated with phone calls. I'm like, no, you don't want to call. And he's like, they've got to be kidding me. You have given me so much information. People are so scared. They do not have the testicular fortitude or the ovarian audacity to pick up the phone.
Wow.
They're so ovarian audacity.
So here's the thing. If you think about it, that is the reason why
Most people don't succeed.
Companies like Bentley don't advertise.
That's right.
That they don't. Why don't they advertise? Because the people that's gonna go get the car are very, very particular. They don't need to advertise for what? Because they're not trying to get the entire market. They know who. Like you said, they know who's gonna call, and that one person that comes and looks at the car is ready to buy. They're not test driving.
And people think that they can only call me if they're ready to buy it. I always say no.
But they're ready to take action.
Right. Call me that you're ready to take action on your stuff. I will help you. I will help because you know what? You might not be my customer today, which is fine. You might not be a family member today, which is fine. but I want to get you to the point where you go, oh, that's it, here you go. Like, because you've gotten there, you're like, okay, Dawnna, now I'm ready. Right? It's fine. Let me tell you, one girl who came in January, she was hilarious. She said, listen, she hit me up in October. She said, I want to come to your retreat. I don't have the money. I said, okay. And she said, I'm going to give you $500. I'm like, you don't know how this works. When you say you don't have money, right? Like generally people say, and they don't send me money. She goes, no, I'm going to give you $500. She goes, because I want a first dib on picking the date. And I also, she goes, because I'm going, but I don't have the money. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, and then she went to coffeewith.dawnna.com, like the schedule. So she goes to coffeewith.dawnna.com and she says, okay, now we need to get on the phone and you need to help me figure out how I'm going to make enough money to pay for your retreat. Right? And so she did. So I said, here are your 3 ideas. She executed those ideas. Not only did she pay for the retreat, like literally goes, here you go. Within 30 days, paid for the retreat and was able to pay for her ticket to get there. Like everything was totally paid for and had money left over. And she goes, all she did, and she had $500.
So hold on, what did she do to get from point A to point B other than take action? What did she do?
You mean specifically what she specifically did? For what she was teaching, I said, I gave her a complete marketing plan placed on your expert. These are the people you need to reach out, expertise. You need to reach out to these people this way, offering this workshop for this price, and you need to get at least 20 people signed up. She got 10 people in her first one, she got 10 people in her second one, she got 10 people in her third one, because I know she's going to do a third one. She made over $12,000. So yeah, she paid for the retreat plus some. She was fine.
30 days.
I was listening to.
And she hasn't made less than, I think, 15 or 20 since she left the retreat.
Now y'all don't judge me when I tell you this.
I'm judging. Go ahead.
I was listening to Lil Nas.
Lil Nas.
Old Town Road. I was listening to Lil Nas tell his story.
So they don't say you. Okay. So
I was listening to him tell the story, and people were saying to him, "Oh man, like, you know, he came out of nowhere to put it." Like, no, he said, "No, I didn't come out of nowhere. I was working.
He was
like, I was putting this stuff out there. I was putting these videos out there because I had a feeling that it was gonna take off. So it wasn't like, oh, I just happened to, like, people happen to stumble on my stuff. It's like, no, I was putting in work.
Yeah,
like
he was viral, and that was a lot of people didn't know that he was doing viral stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
And what I loved about what he did was he went out and put this country song, and he got on Billboard country music charts.
Right.
And they kicked his ass off because he got like the top 18, and they kicked him off Billboard country music chart. And then Billy Ray Cyrus was like, "Okay, that's bullshit." Went and sang the chorus. And then he went all the way to #1. I'm like, see, I am not mad at him. But he is the perfect example of somebody who picked a lane, did something different, and went up. I keep telling people, I'm like, if you are scared to do something different, and you try to do what everybody else does, then there's just too many people to pick from.
Yeah, and I love what he said. He said, look, and people ask him, will you keep doing the songs? Like, look, I don't care if I have to do the song for the rest of my life. Vanilla Ice did it. Like, I asked somebody the other day, I'm like, how many Vanilla Ice hit songs are there? They're like, well, there's just like, no, there's one, okay? I don't care how much you love Vanilla Ice, there's one hit song, and he's still doing the same song.
And he's still doing the same stuff to it, too. He's still doing the same running man, right? He got the same haircut. He wearing the same outfit. He ain't changed it.
But he's
getting paid for that one song, man. Let me tell you.
But see, the thing is, though, so this is important. This is why when I talk to y'all about entrepreneurship, I'm so crystal about, I want that whatever you choose as an entrepreneur, as an expert, as a coach, whatever it is, to embody who you are. Because I do not want you to feel stuck in sharing this exact same story every time you get on stage. You're like, oh, if I got to tell that damn story one more again, I'm gonna take out the whole audience. It'll kill you, right? Because it does. It gets crazy. Like I know speakers that have been in the business for 50 years. They have one story, and all they can tell is that one story. That's all they can tell. They have other stuff that they try to tack onto it, but still, if they ain't telling that one story, people are upset, right?
That's Les Brown.
Yeah, right. One story.
One show.
Right? I came to. I did not invite 10 people. One drink
If you say Les Brown, you know exactly
His name is Brown Baby Boy. That's his own brand. And it's not that he doesn't have other stuff. He does. But the thing is when your business embodies who you are, as you change, so can your business. That's the thing. And so we want to make sure that your business embodies you, and that you're not just. That's why I don't do the gimmick thing.
No,
That's why I don't. I'm like, no.
You also make it very clear that while you're creating that one brand, that you're creating that expertise, and you're picking your audience.
You're picking your lane, your audience.
You're picking your lane. That you also need to keep in mind what you plan on doing in the future.
Right.
Which,
yes.
Yes. Which made me make a pit stop on the way here to work on my PowerPoint, because I'm new to this.
This is the most nervous person. So here's I'm gonna tell all of y'all
Give us
this.
the scoop. Give us the scoop.
Oh no, all of y'all. Okay. All of y'all are exactly the same. I wish Carol and Renee were here and Chris were here, because all of y'all are the same. This is what I get on the phone from everybody. I think you did it. You might have been the only one because you were alone, because you came before. But everybody who's phoning me like this, you're like, so yeah, I got that email with everybody on it. I got that email. Yeah, I saw all the email addresses with everybody that's gonna be in the house. So I'm gonna check them out. And I'm like, okay. And this is her. She goes, well, first of all, why is everybody gorgeous? First thing she said.
Oh my God.
She did. She goes, why isn't everybody gorgeous? Like the whole house is beautiful. Like, can ugly people not get in? Like, is that was her first thing. So if I die, like, you can like send me a selfie, I'll let you know. Like, right? So that was the first thing. Right? And she goes, and then I checked out Chef Tia. I'm being serious. Right? And she goes, and Chris Price, and then like she just went, and she goes, and Nick is on it every day. Like she was losing it, right? And she goes, everybody, she goes, this is one of my favorite parts. She goes, I don't know if I'm in the right room. I'm like, you are a level 1 trauma nurse. You literally like my arm could fall off. You like, girl, give me some ice and some thread. I got this. I'm like,
MacGyver of
right?
nurses.
Right? I'm like, she's like, no, but you know, I'm like, but everybody, she wasn't the only one. Everybody said that. Tia said that. Wow. Carol said that. Wow. Everybody said that. Like, I went and checked out these people. Are you sure you got me the right one? Because she's like, maybe the next one. You have like some dumber people. Like, what's your level 1 retreat? And I'm like, and I said, everybody, when I said the first day is defend your blueprint, I can't tell you how many people say, I'm sorry, you want me to do, huh? Like, what, we gonna be on Zoom together? I'm like, no, we're gonna be in the room with everybody. what? So everybody's gonna see me? Like, we're not gonna wear goggles. Yeah, we gonna hug in the room.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, do your presentation. No, I ain't peeking. Yes, I gotta call. Everybody said the same thing.
That is funny.
I'm like, y'all are all qualified to be here.
Yes, you're qualified to be
Yeah.
here because you are here.
Thank you.
One trauma nurse. I mean, like, she's like, am I an expert? Yes. Yes, you are.
How long have you been doing this?
So I always speak at work. I mean, really, at the
No.
hospital.
How long have you been a level 1 trauma nurse?
Oh, 10 years?
All right, it's over.
Right,
it's a wrap. We're done.
Right.
We're out of here.
Like, look, I'm like, turn my field alarms for the pool. We got a level 1 trauma nurse. Go ahead and drown. She can bring you back to life.
One of my favorite sayings is somebody said, if you know better than the person, more than the person next to you in your particular area of expertise, then you're an expert.
Right.
It's just that simple. No, seriously, think about that. If you know
you
more,
only gotta know a little bit more.
you only gotta know a little bit more than that, and you're an expert. I don't know anything about what you do.
Nothing.
So to me,
We all stupid in here.
you're
We're
an
like,
expert.
no, we're like, blood?
Blood?
Right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm like, blood?
No, there's a whole lot of
Needles?
different things.
Look, how do I describe drawing blood? They're gonna take hot metal.
Yeah.
They're gonna stab it into my body and take out my life force. That's what we call drawing blood. Now that's probably not the definition y'all put in the dictionary, but that's what it is to me. Right? They come at you like this. We just want a little bit. Like, then why you got 18 files?
No, you're definitely an expert.
Yes, that's a challenge.
Sometimes it's not even about being smarter than the next person. It's about having a different perspective. Or a better way to do things.
Right.
More efficient.
Right.
Like you're doing the same thing. We know the same stuff, but
it's having what
it's
is
more
really
efficient this way.
The thing is, and what we do is that we talk about. So I would tell you that a lot of people come in here experts, but they leave thought leaders. Mm-hmm. And the reason that is the difference between an expert and a thought leader is an expert knows how to deliver best practices. Mm-hmm. So something is already out there, they know how to repeat that over and over and over again. That's an expert. When they can do that at a point where they're like, that 99.9, that 6 Sigma where it's not messed up, and they can do it over and over again, they are the highest level of expertise.
Right.
A thought leader, however, has their own secret sauce. Mm-hmm. They have their own methodology. Mm-hmm. They have taken that expertise and they're like, this is good, but let me tell you the sauce that you could put in here, and now it's my own. And what they leave here is a big deal that we talk about, and I'll talk about this to all of y'all, is your methodology. What is your step-by-step way of getting to that success story? How do you make that happen? And that's why with everybody that I've talked to on the phone, over the past 6 weeks, we've had this conversation. What is that thing that you're doing that other people aren't doing that makes it yours?
Like Little Nas.
Right?
And he said it. He said there's nobody that's ever. Well, I mean, Nelly has done it. Right. But the way that he's done it with the hip hop beat, dressed like a cowboy, it's like nobody's ever done that.
Exactly.
And Billboard doesn't know what to do with him. The country is hip hop is like we don't know what to do. It's like, and he says I'm okay with that. I created my own lane.
That's right, exactly, and that is the one thing that we're always talking about. Yeah. So with every one of you, I'm always like, so what? Like his whole thing is face of the franchise, right? And I'm like, so what's the methodology? How do you create? How do you take an athlete? First of all, how do you help leaders create an environment so that the leader that's supposed to be in that locker room emerges? Number one, and then how do you turn that person who has emerged into the face of the franchise? Well, he has a methodology, a step-by-step for doing that, right? When we talk about how do you get people who are turning over, first of all, she's in a volatile industry. Nursing there are no nurses out there, so it's hard to get nurses and it's high turnover. Right. So how do you go from, we are training new nurses 40 a quarter, right? It was 40 a quarter. You said every quarter they were training, or was it a month?
Minimum.
Right, yeah, like on the low end, right? So that hospital, that's how much they're turning over. It's not because there are that many more patients, it's because they're turning over so much. So how do you go from a minimum of 40 a quarter to maybe 3? That's all. How are you retaining and engaging them from the moment that you interview them to every day that they're in there? How do you make them not only want to come, but want to stay? Mm-hmm. She has a method. She has her own secret sauce, right? How do you open up a conference in an absolutely, completely unique way than just being able to sit here and walk through the history of the company for their 5th, 10th, or 25th anniversary? No. How do you do something absolutely different that uses art to propel the content rather than content to propel the conference? Like, how do you do something completely different? And that's what you do. So it's really understanding that differentiator that you bring to the table. It's not like anybody else's. My differentiator is blueprint. Right. That blueprint is, I think you said it the other day. You said most people have the machine and they require people to constantly come back to them.
Come to it. That's the plug. You're the plug.
Right. I'm the plug, right. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, the difference is that
you're sending this out.
Yeah, I'm giving you, here's the machine. Mm-hmm. I'll help you operate it. Go do it and make money, but you have the machine. Right. I'm not owning the machine. Right. I'm constantly going, here's the machine for you. You can use this machine and you can use it over and over and over again to make money.
In other words, you get a machine, you get a machine.
You get a machine. Everybody, and that's really what it is. Everybody is a machine. Normally what you have to do is you're so dependent upon the coach that you can never go and do it yourself. And I'm like, no, I want to make you independent. And then when you come to me, usually it's for, and the reason I do that is because I I really want you to be able to do it on your own, and then come back to me and say, I just need you to look at this, just validate this, just help me out with this, and that's fine. I don't want to constantly teach it over and over again to the same person.
Right.
I want you to like, oh, I got it, and then be able to move on and then say, you know, so when you call me again, you're like, hey, I'm thinking about adding another leg to my business. Can you validate this for me? Or I'm adding another leg. I'm coming back to the high profit zone to add that leg. People come back to the high profit zone not because they didn't do well the first time, but usually because they're like, I want to validate this second leg of my business. It's already killing it. I need to do the next part, right? But that's that same thing, validation and transformation, not just information and solution.
What's having that testimonial of that person that, look, I made this, you know, I was able to take this person from here to there. I mean, like for me, when I take on a client, if I know, like I've had clients that say, hey, I just need you to come in and just patch this. It's like, first of all, I don't patch stuff up.
Right.
Because what'll happen is when somebody else comes and looks, it's like who did that work for you?
Why did he just do Band-Aids on it?
It's like, yeah, rude. It's like, no, I don't want that. And I don't care how much you pay me, that's not my work, that's not what I do. But if you want me to do it like it's supposed to be done and make sure that it's nice and neat, it's gonna cost you.
Right.
But guess what? When I'm done,
it'll be right.
It'll be right, and that's gonna be a testament to how I work moving forward.
Right.
I'm completely okay with walking away with for this. I don't want that.
Right.
For what?
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't do me any justice.
Right.
And when I first started business, I used to think, well, you gotta just grab everything because you just never know. It's like, no. Dawnna said you have to be very specific about what you want it to look like and where you want it to be.
Well, and what you know, at the end of the day, I make a big deal about, and I don't have one of those I was going to show you. So, the first time that I did one of the retreats, I had to write this, what was like 290-page book, right? And it was in like 3 weeks because somebody had the idea. They're like, you should put a little book together for the retreat. And I'm like, clearly you don't know how much information it's not just a little, it's gonna be a lot, right? And so I just sat there and I just like poured into this thing 18 hours a day trying to get it done. And so I got it done. I go and get it. Pictures.
Columns. Chapters, different colors. I mean, like it was deep.
It was. No. So, but here's the thing. I'm also trying to do it fast, which means I can't do it as good as I want it to be done. So I go get it printed. I mean, I'm working on it last minute at the last night. I go get it printed, and there is a page that's left in there that says Lorem Ipsum. Yes, a Lorem Ipsum page made it in, and I was like, oh my God. Right? I was like devastated. I'm like, all of y'all better burn the books. I will give you another when you burn that book. Don't you ever let anybody ever see that book. Oh no, you don't understand. I'm like, give it to me as you walk out the door. People are like, no. It's just one page. I'm like, my name is on that book. You don't understand. Right? Like I was freaked out about that book.
Yeah. I thought you was just so smart that you just threw some Greek out.
You got it, yeah. She's like, I got Latin, bitch. How many of y'all know Latin? Lorem Ipsum. I was so devastated about that book. So of course I go and I have time to do the second one. So I go to the second one. You grab yours? It's on your bed, right? So I go and do the second one, right? So the second book, I'm like, there will be no Lorem Ipsum. There will be none at all.
They have been fired.
And you would think, okay, you already got 200 whatever pages done. It's not a big deal. It should be fast. No, it took me 8 weeks because I went and redid every chapter, every bit of it. 8 weeks to work on it. Then I went and got an editor, and I had the editor go through it, and I mean, like over and over again. Yeah. And so Nick's gonna bring his book, and so then we got a book that I'm like, okay, we put my name on that one. And I went back to my first people. I'm like, if y'all ever show anybody that first book, people like, I'll keep it, even if for later, as blackmail. But no, it's something about putting your name on something.
Yeah. So
right?
Put it in the
it has to mean something, and so. And it's kind of funny because I feel that way about people who come here. I feel like my name is put on their system. So I'm very sensitive about that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, right?
Because people be being quick. Well, I did when Dawnna said it didn't work.
Yeah, so I'm very sensitive.
It's the wrong Dawnna.
Yeah. Here, however, is the book. And that's why I sell for $1,600 online. Because, right? But I feel very sensitive about putting my name on things. Yeah, I got some weight.
Got some weight to it.
Look, I took 3 of those books out of my luggage and went down 10 pounds. That's how I was able to make it through without extra fees. Right. But I feel very sensitive about putting my name on stuff. And so I'm very sensitive about the people who come. I'm putting my name on their success.
Yeah.
And so I don't want them to, so for me, their success is critical.
Yeah.
And I really make a big deal about that. And there are things that people just don't want to do. They're like, well, I don't want to sell. And I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to do it easy, but you're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
You're not in business if you're not selling anything.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah. People need to know about you. You have to promote. You have to, absolutely.
Exactly. But anyway, I'm gonna exit Facebook Live. Listen, y'all sat here through our whole conversation. If you got questions, will you see if there's anybody with questions?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, then we're gonna leave. We're gonna go bye-bye.
Yep. Say hi to Henry.
Hey,
Henry, Dominique.
Hi, Dominique.
Lisa Young.
She's here.
She was before she came here. She's like, that's me. I wanted it all before.
Lisa's like, I'm watching from outside.
Yeah, she's driving here.
Kelly Charles from Jamaica.
Hey, Kelly. She's in Jamaica because she's a family member.
Damali Marshall.
Hi, Molly.
Carlos Perez.
Hi, Carlos.
And some lady named Julie Holmes.
Julie Holmes? Who is that?
Julie Holmes.
That's a family member. What's up, family?
What's up, Julie?
Anyway, we're going to be here for the next, until Thursday.
Yep.
I'm here until Thursday afternoon. We'll try to get a few of these. Maybe we'll do a couple of lives from the classroom so you guys can see what actually happens in the high profit zone. And maybe we'll take you on some of our excursions because we have a lot of fun. We turn it off for me? Yep. But holla, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Have fun.